Greetings, mortals, and welcome. Please present your tickets for validation. Thank you. Your existence has been acknowledged, and you have been granted access every Thursday and Friday. You will be accompanying your guides, Krista and Brandi, along with a world-renowned guest. They will be exploring an intriguing tendril of what humans refer to as reality each week, as they strive to advance you further down the path to the truths of your physical earth and what lies on the other side. Remember to please keep your hands and feet in the vehicle at all times, and do not exit until the craft has come to a complete stop.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy day. Yeah, I was going to say day after Thanksgiving.
Right.
Yeah. How was your Thanksgiving? Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. Like I said, as we were talking about earlier, I said it was just me and my mom pretty much all day. My daughter was with her other grandparents, and my other two, of course, are grown and on their own. And my brother and his wife stopped by for about an hour and a half, and then that was it.
That was good, huh?
Very unexciting day. Unexciting day.
Yeah, we went to my brother's, and it was good. I got to spend some time with my granddaughter and stuff, so that's always a good thing, you know.
Right. I don't know. Thanksgiving is just not one of my favorite holidays.
Mine either. Nope, mine either. I like it because I'm off work, but that's it.
Right. Well, I did announce to everybody today that they can now start singing Christmas carols.
Yes.
Because I told everybody, I said, do not sing any Christmas music or songs, or don't play any Christmas music. Don't do any of that until the day after Thanksgiving. I don't want to hear it.
There you go. There you go. So have you heard any yet?
No, actually, not today. But see, I haven't turned on the radio or anything, so I haven't heard nothing.
So speaking of Christmas songs, Paranormal Paul today, we were just chit-chatting, and he said that he's getting in the Christmas mood. He was jamming out to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Okay.
So, yeah, anyway. So I guess he's in the Christmas mood too.
It must be. I mean, I don't know. I think the way things have gone for the year 2024 have not been like one of my best. It's probably been one of my worst.
Yeah.
I'm just ready for it to be over. Thank you, Amy.
No, I hear you. I totally hear you. Werewolf said he likes the food. And you know what? Honestly, like the food now, okay, let me ask you, turkey or ham?
Well, I'm a turkey.
Yeah.
I like turkey.
Well, I'm a ham. However, yesterday, my brother smoked a turkey, and I have to say that was really good. He did good.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, I saw an article on this woman, and it was on one of the news channels or something, and she was talking about how last year she spent, like, she has a big family gathering and things like that, and she spent nearly $500 just on Thanksgiving. You know, that's well over my grocery budget for a month.
Yeah, mine too. No way.
Yeah, and I turned around to my family and I said, well, next year, I said, y'all might be just getting like something like less, a lot less, maybe.
I only had to take, it was cheap for me this year. I only had to take macaroni and cheese, which I made. It was a viral recipe I seen, and I got to tell you, it was really good. So I will make that. Yeah, like my nephew, he wouldn't even let me take home the leftovers. He wanted me to leave it there for him, so I did.
Well, you're like,
That
I
was
could
pretty
give you
good.
a recipe.
Yeah,
Dang it.
it even called for the recipe called for chicken bouillon cubes. But it was good.
Huh.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it. And then it had evaporated milk in it and heavy whipping cream. It was good. And then 3 different cheeses. I think it was sharp cheddar, mozzarella, and Colby Jack.
Right.
And then a
Right.
ton of spices. Like,
Huh.
it was in it. Yeah, it was good though.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just not one of those people. I'm just not up for Thanksgiving anymore. I used to really love it, you know, for the Macy's Day Parade and all of that stuff. But it's just kind of like, you know,
Just a thing now. Yeah, I agree. You know, I agree with you with this year. You know, I'm kind of on the outs with like my daughter and stuff. So like she wasn't there, and so it was all right. You know, I got to see my son and his wife and my granddaughter, so that made it all good though.
Right, right.
So yeah, totally get it. Totally get it. Thank you, Amy, for the memberships. We appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
So
I think
anyway,
I think I seen more of my eyelids yesterday.
there you go. So honestly, guys, you know, with it being the day after Thanksgiving and kind of just a low-key day for us, like we didn't really like have a topic. So if anybody wants to talk about anything, just drop it in chat. And we just thought we'll just take this show wherever it goes. We really don't care.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like, I mean, do we really want to sit and talk about serious stuff? Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah, we could talk about whatever. I don't even care if it's paranormal or not. You know? It's all good. All good. Werewolf says his wife makes a great Thanksgiving dinner. It's just me and her. Well, good deal. Good deal.
And that is awesome.
We had a really good one. Actually, I also took the macaroni, but the green bean casserole, Ava actually made that. So that was good. That's my 14-year-old. She made that. We took that. So and
that's cool.
But yeah, I got off cheap this year.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then my stepson tonight, he's at like his brother's and they're doing lasagna. That's a different, not typical Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, well, see, that sounds like something like we do on Christmas time. Like I said, my mom's birthday is Christmas. So it's whatever she wants for dinner. I mean, it could be a traditional holiday dinner, or it could be, who knows, steak on the you know, on the grill.
Yeah. Yep. You know, Roger makes a good point here. He says Thanksgiving, Christmas, and other holidays haven't been the same since my dad passed away 3 years ago. And you know what? I can understand that because like when my grandma passed away, it just the family dynamics weren't the same. Same with like when my mother-in-law passed away. It's weird how when like somebody goes, like your Thanksgiving and your Christmases change. At least it does in my family. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. My dad passed away. My dad passed away in 2013, and he died the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So so it hasn't been, you know, it hasn't been the same. I mean, it's kind of like we get together, we have but it's just not the same. And I get that, you know. I get that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Like Terry says, yeah, grandma held the family together. That's how, you know, like my grandma, then, you know, my mom passed away a couple of years ago. Well, this December will be 2 years. And, you know, so yeah, I totally get that. You know, it's true how everything changes because they were the ones that always planned it, you know, what we were eating, what we were doing, what we were, you know what I mean? Who was coming, what time. And now we have to do that.
Yeah.
Even yesterday.
And Terry said that her father passed away December 26th.
Wow.
So I get that.
Yeah. So yeah, sometimes holidays just aren't all, you know, what the true meaning is, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. You know what though? Maybe we should all join Freaky Geeks. My aunt's watching a movie, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. Maybe that would cheer us up.
Maybe. Yeah, that'd work.
Yep. What is your favorite Christmas
Yeah.
movie?
I don't know. I don't think I have one.
So
I don't know. Now Halloween movies are different. Christmas, I guess it's not movies. I always love the like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, them little
I like them.
claymation things. Those are my favorite. I don't have
Yeah.
a movie.
So Terry says Krampus. I like Krampus is a good one. Mickey G says Die Hard. And you know what? We came home from my brother's last night and we watched that movie because Ray said that's a Christmas movie. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. But we watched it. Let's see. There's a lot of them here. Werewolf says Christmas Vacation. Val says Scrooge. William says It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah. Christmas Vacation and Christmas Story. Oh, yeah. The 10 Commandments movie. I remember that one too. We've been watching Christmas movies this week, and we watched one that was funny. I'd never watched it before, but it was based on, and I can't even think of what it was called, but it had something to do with a woman named Karen, and Karen was like Scrooge. She was a female version of Scrooge, but it was modern day. Yeah, and it was
well with a name like Karen.
Yeah, and she was very much a Karen and some, and yeah, it was quite funny actually. So. We watched that one Wednesday night.
What was the name of that movie?
I can't think of what it's called. I'll have to look it up, but it had something to do with Karen, but it was like, the ghost of Christmas past and present and future
Right.
all come to visit her and took her around, but yeah, it was with Karen.
Well, you will have to tell me that name because of that movie, because I'll have to watch it.
I will. And it was free too. It was on like Freebie or something.
Oh, gotta love them.
Yeah. So yeah, it was funny. I will look it up though. But I like Krampus too. Like Terry said, that's a good one.
I know it's like a twist too.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you the scary side of what Christmas, is in some countries.
I still think Krampus looks like a Wendigo to me. I'm just saying.
Well, it does. It does. In any depiction that I've seen, it very much does look like that.
Yeah.
But but it also has like the Hansel and Gretel vibes, like they eat children, it also has that to it. So I don't know. It's a scary movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Just crazy stuff. And since we got our first winter weather advisory tonight, it's our first one of the year. So tomorrow, I think I'm going to make the girls sit and watch The Wizard of Oz with me tomorrow. I have nothing else going on.
That's usually our Thanksgiving movie. That's usually the Thanksgiving movie. We'll watch Wizard of Oz every Thanksgiving. Not that I watched any of that. I don't know. I've been into watching I wouldn't call it weird stuff, but more of like period pieces. Like right now I'm in the middle of The Empress, and I watched Bridgerton, which was very entertaining, which I didn't think it would be. But I binge watched that and thought that was good. And then they had a little offshoot of that, and that was good. I was like, so I've been on that kick lately. I don't know what it is, but then again, history. There you go.
There you go.
I'm all stuck in that.
This is one Christmas one I forgot. David Murphy says Charlie Brown Christmas. You remember that one?
Oh, well, that falls in there with the Frosty the Snowman and all that.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to check into. I haven't watched those yet. So anyway, fun stuff. Like I said, if anybody wants to talk about anything in particular, just say it in chat, and we can try to go there. And it, like I said, doesn't even have to
we can try.
Yeah, it don't even have to be scary or nothing. Just whatever. It's just one of those nights, like to chill and just hang out with friends. You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing.
Right. Well, with people, okay, I got something. With people who experience a lot of paranormal activity, maybe in their home, at their job, or whatever. Have you ever noticed that it picks up or you have an uptick during holidays?
Oh yeah.
Like when people get, the vibration kind of changes because it is a holiday and people are excited
Yeah.
about it and blah blah blah.
And not only excited,
I was wondering.
I do agree with you on that. Only because, like what we just talked about, like people have passed away, and so like there is some excitement. However, there's still some sadness. So it's kind of a mixture, and it might amp things up. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think about this though. In my house, we have 3 Christmas trees. We have mine, my youngest daughter, and then my mother. We all have our own Christmas tree, and then we all decorate it. Well, getting those Christmas trees out of that storage room is a little bit of a task, and then we're moving boxes around, and again, that reminds me of kind of like remodeling, restoration type of stuff, because you are moving stuff and you are changing the look of your house.
Sure.
So yeah, I haven't taken my Christmas trees out yet. My daughter is with like I said, with her grandparents this week. So as soon as she gets home, she's going to help me get them out. But yeah, I'm expecting it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I got my tree up. I put it up a week ago.
Well, see, I'm a firm believer. I'm not putting it up till after Thanksgiving. I mean, I cannot start missing holidays.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, then you'll have like 6 months of Christmas and then 6 months of the 4th of July. And I just don't want that.
Well, I like the 4th of July, so that wouldn't bother me.
I don't want to handle 6 months of it, but, I like all the holidays, and I like to go through each and every one. It gives me something to look forward and on to the next.
So what's your favorite holiday besides Halloween? Can't say Halloween because we know that's our favorite, but
I would have to say Christmas. I would have to say Christmas. And the reason why is, I guess it used to be we go look at the lights and stuff like that. Where I'm at, we can't do that now. But it used to be just like you'd have like festivities the whole entire month.
Yeah.
So I do like Christmas.
So mine, I would say, is the 4th of July. I am not a Christmas fan. I think it's lost the true meaning to it, and I think it's overrated, and everybody expects too much, and I spend too much money. So I am honestly not a fan of Christmas at all.
So I've already told everybody this year. I said, what size hug you want? You want a little hug? You want a big hug? It's up to you what kind of hug you want, but you don't get one.
There you go. That's perfect. Perfect. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Wayne. But yeah, I just think Christmas has lost its true meaning. I understand what it's supposed to be about, and I appreciate that part of it, but it's just not what it is anymore.
Mickey said she'll take a big hug.
There you go.
Big hug. Yeah. Yeah, because I realize that it's tough on a lot of people this year. I'm hopefully next year it'll look up for everybody and everything will change.
Like Werewolf says,
it's been depressing, I'll tell you.
Yeah, like Werewolf says, Christmas is not about the gifts, and I agree wholeheartedly. But unfortunately, today's society, that's what it is about. Like who can get the best this or that, and that just drives me bonkers.
Yeah. Well, what I thought I would do with my daughter this year is, I haven't even told her yet, but I thought that we would kind of like start figuring out desserts, like just weird things, like you did the viral macaroni and cheese, let's do a really wild recipe, just something to look forward to do. And I think we're going to concentrate on eating this year.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
Try all the good stuff,
Yeah. Yep. Our Poncho says all my family gets gift cards. You know what? I'm about ready to do that this year myself, and then just get my grandkids, gifts. And because even like the older girls, they're 12 and 14, like they don't like anything I like. So what do you buy them?
That's true. That's
So,
true.
so
Yeah, I'm not even.
money.
Yeah, I'm not even worried about that. I just, I told my daughter pick out a few things. Don't expect anything uh fancy,
Right.
all that kind of stuff. I said, but things that you need.
Right. Yep. That's it.
But but a holiday tradition is every Christmas Eve we always get one gift and new pajamas. You can count on new pajamas every Christmas Eve.
Right.
I'm just telling you.
Yep.
And that started way back when in my family. And I would laugh at my mom. And I said, why you buy us new pajamas? Is so we don't look like we're homeless on Christmas morning when you're taking pictures.
Taking pictures. That's right. That's funny. You know what? Speaking of Christmas jammies, I actually had mine on yesterday. I don't just wear them at Christmas. Like I wear them all year round.
Right.
I do.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it says if they say Merry Christmas on them like they do, I will wear them in July.
Yeah, I don't care either. I don't care. I'll wear them.
Yeah, doesn't matter to me.
I mean, everybody only sees us from the waist up on here. You never know what we got on.
Right.
I mean, I got gray sweatpants on tonight, so.
Yeah, I do too. And I actually have my VMR and Tech shirt on.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So
what am I wearing? I'm wearing the my Waverly Hills Sanitarium sweatshirt. So my hoodie.
There you go. That works. So let's just do some this or that. And everybody, in chat, like join in with us too. Like be something.
Yeah, because this could be funny.
Low key, yeah. So, Brandi, I'll ask you first. All right.
Okay.
So, Mothman or Jersey Devil?
Well, see, we just did a show on this. Wednesday night on the Paranormal Show and Tell. We just did a show on the Jersey Devil. And man, the similarities to the two are crazy.
Thank you, Mike.
The similarities are crazy, but see, we had that show on Mothman, and we were trying to just to say, well, is this like the angel, or is it a demon? Is it an angel of death? More
right
correctly,
right.
I don't know. They're kind of the same. I think Mothman. I'm going to go with Mothman because there are some stories where Mothman says that people have claimed that Mothman saved their life.
That's
so
true.
I'm going to go with that one.
That's true.
Because the Jersey Devil lives in the Pine Barrens there.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Nope. True story. I would agree with you on that one. I actually, speaking of the Jersey Devil, I was just watching before we came on here. I like a lot of the different YouTubers that go out to different places. And one of them was Jasco. I like that guy. And he was at the Pine Barrens.
Oh, see, I have no interest in going that because, I mean, they say that the woods are so dense that you would take a lot to get through.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah. No, I gotcha. I hear you.
Because you can't run very fast if you're in the middle of dense woods because then you're like tripping over everything and
yeah.
And then we even had the comparison, between the Pine Barrens because that it's kind of like the LBL and all of that, the activity that happens and things like that. I said, but the LBL takes care of it. The conservation office takes care of it because they do control burns, they do clean up the stuff, and so I mean they pay attention to what's happening. But up there, if a tree falls, that's where it lays forever.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah, see, I would be totally interested in going to the Pine Barrens. I'd love to go. I mean, there's a lot of like human people you got to really watch out for there because, like they say, it's not so hot, But I would like to go.
Well, Donny was telling us that feral people are prevalent in that area.
See, now feral people scare me.
See, now that's what he was saying is that they are sniping.
Done that before.
Y'all have to excuse me. I've every time the weather is doing something crazy, I'm always coughing and hacking, which is pretty much 90% of the year. But yeah, I think they're prevalent there. That's what Donny was saying, is that there are many stories of feral people there, and I'm like, more so than the like the Appalachian Mountains, and he's like, yeah,
Cool.
and I
Well,
said,
I watched. I think it was Hellbent Holler. They did one too on feral people, and that's, I don't know, just like, I think I watch too much horror TV because like I can deal with the ghosts and stuff being out there, but like, man, these people who like don't see the light of day, and then like they're short on food, so they see you and then they just eat you for a meal. Like, I'm sorry, but that scares me.
I think that we watch too many like ID channel shows. I'm just gonna say that, as we say, it's the killing shows that we watch too many of those. And unfortunately, with these shows, you're seeing the worst of the worst of people, and it kind of like puts you off and sets you back, and you're kind of like, well, I'll know what to watch out for, or da 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 da, or this or that, or whatever.
Right. No, for sure. And the cat's here.
And the cat's
usually comes to Rob. She likes Rob, but now she just has to join you and I. But yeah, feral people.
He's coming to visit.
Yeah, yeah, and we watch a lot of that creepy stuff. Brandi and I do.
Yes, so we do. Well, we do. I mean, because that's we talk about it constantly. I mean, shoot, we're on here talking about all this weird stuff and paranormal activity, cryptid activity, alien activity. We generally are curious about all of the stuff that's going on. And unfortunately, that's hours and hours of watching documentaries, watching TV series, researching books, going out in the field. I mean, you kind of start living and breathing weirdness, and that's what we do.
Yeah. I got a question here for you.
Okay.
So this one's going to be a tough one because I know you watch them both and like them both, as do I. So the Foreman Brothers or the Paranormal Files?
Oh, man. If you haven't watched any of these and you really like the paranormal, these two are the ones to watch.
Yeah.
There's only because they do real investigations. They do put out stuff, and they will tell you if it is fake or not. Oh my gosh, I can't.
I knew that would be a hard one for you because it's a hard one for me.
Yeah, because it's I would say the Paranormal Files. I would say that.
He's just I like how Colin does so many wide variety of things, because he does a lot of like just like murders and investigations. Have you seen where he's like really delving deep into some bad stuff, and I like that.
Yeah, he does a wide variety of stuff. He dives into everything, kind of like what we do, except he's got the paycheck that lets him go out there and find it.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
So, but yeah, I really love the work that he does personally. But I love
I like
Paranormal Nightmare.
Yeah. So the Foreman Brothers, Paranormal Nightmare, I like their stuff because I like the home investigations. And for me personally, that's what I like to do, like the private cases, and they do that.
Right.
So I like all of that kind of stuff. Wayne wants to know where we're from. Brandi, where are you from?
Wayne Missouri, Southeast Missouri.
Yep. And I'm from outside St. Louis, Missouri. So, yeah. Anyway.
She's about 3 hours north of me.
Yeah, I am. And it's not too bad. Yeah, good old Missouri.
Good old Missouri.
Yeah.
I
So
keep seeing articles now. I keep seeing articles now about St. Louis and Mound City. I
mhm.
keep seeing them. They keep popping up now. And I'm like, well, is it because I did the research and now it's just, doing its little thing that it does?
Yeah.
And I keep seeing the articles on it now, and that's creepy all in itself. That it used to be Indian mounds all up in St.
Well,
Louis. It used to be
I
called
have
Mound
one.
City.
I have a mound just right down the road, and I walk that parks a lot. Remember, I pointed out to you because we did a private
Yeah.
case. Remember, that was right there. Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you did.
So
And yeah, I mean there was a lot of stuff up in St. Louis. That St. Louis is just it's steeped in history, and you got to dig into it. It's just a crazy history.
and it's very, very haunted. St. Louis is extremely haunted. Yes, Kevin, Cahokia Mounds.
Mhm.
Yes, for sure. It's a scary stuff there. I got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Ozzy Osbourne or Alice Cooper?
Ozzy Osbourne. I'm sorry. I really liked Ozzy more so than Alice Cooper.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I just did. I thought I just liked his music more. But then that was me as a kid.
Yeah. I do like Alice Cooper though. I do. Although
I do too.
Ozzy, I've been a huge fan of Ozzy for as long as I can remember.
Well, it is amazing how if you watch video clips of him when he was young and video clips of him now,
Mm-hmm.
you can't understand a word he's saying now.
No,
Not one word.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wonder, you have to wonder, did he strike up a deal with the devil? Because look at him. He's like almost like he's crippled up. He can't speak, he just, everything is just falling apart on the man.
Yeah, it's true. Very, very true. Somebody says here, let me find it. Kevin said the story of The Exorcist was in St. Louis. Actually, yes. It actually started, I believe, in Wisconsin or somewhere like that, and ended up moving to St. Louis because the boy had Lewis carved into his stomach, and he had relatives in St. Louis, and that's how he ended up here. Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You are correct. So, yeah.
I don't know. I think I think the next time we're up there, we need to do a drive-by. Maybe take a little video of what the house looks like now. We'll go by and we'll video the hospital and all of that stuff for everybody to view what it looks like today.
Yeah, we can do that for sure because it's not that far from here. What, 40 minutes maybe?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
and
not
I think that it would be interesting to show everybody what it looks like today.
Yeah.
And then, because it's not the same.
Yeah. Yeah, people are talking
The
about
house looks, pretty much the same except for the paint and whatever. But it's still the same.
Yeah. Okay, I got another question for you. While we're on music, let's stick on music for a little bit. All right. Bon Jovi or Motley Crue?
See, we just had this conversation. We just had this conversation Wednesday night.
I didn't know that.
Well, that's kind of that's too hard. You want, and there's a reason, because the persona of John Bon Jovi was always, he was the good guy, the nice guy, the sweet guy, and then you got Motley Crue, the bad boys of the 80s, right?
Yep.
But I liked them both equally, I think.
Yeah.
I've seen them both in concert. I liked them both equally. Yeah.
Yeah. I was a huge Motley Crue fan as a kid in the 80s, late 80s. And but I also like Bon Jovi too. So I seen them both in concert multiple times. So
we paid money to see them, so I guess we like them both.
Yes. Yes. Wayne wants to know how we met.
Oh, go ahead, Krista. I'll let you go with that one.
So Brandi and I met, believe it or not, through Ghost.
Yeah, it was Ghosts. Everybody, Ghost brought us together.
Yeah, I was part of a team, and Brandi came to some events that we would hold and stuff, and we all
And I
just
was part of another team.
Yep, yep. And so yeah, we just met, and here we are. Now we're friends and hang out and all that good stuff.
Right.
Yeah. William asked, "What was the most haunted house you visited?" Ooh.
Hmm. Oh, I haven't been in a house that I could honestly say was scary, scary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when we do residential investigations, we're dealing with things where people are hearing bumps in the night and maybe a couple sounds and stuff like that. So they're not like crazy, what we would consider crazy haunted.
Yeah. I would say mine would be probably it was a private case that I did probably back in, oh gosh, probably 2010, 2011. It was a private case. That was a scary one. And I've talked about it before. It was with the boys that passed away. I told you about that
Yes.
one before. That's probably my scariest one. Next question. Mike asked, question, have you guys ever been to Canada? If not, what city here would you love to visit?
Oh, I've been to Canada. I used to live in Michigan. So I would cross into Canada through Windsor. But I've never been to like Ontario or anything like that. I've never been that far into it. So anywhere in Canada, I would love to go. I think somewhere with remote with lots of woods.
Yeah, there you go. I saw Canada. I was in Michigan and saw Canada across the water, but we didn't go across. But I have a cousin who lives in Ontario. So if I would go to Canada, I would love to go and visit her.
Yeah, I definitely would like to do some British Columbia. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would like to get up there, do some hiking, do some investigating. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Briggy says, Brandi, don't go too deep into Canada. The woods might swallow you up. Well,
that's true. But that
it's
can happen
possible.
anywhere.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, that can definitely happen anywhere. Let's see. There is another question. Little Patty says, Journey or Cinderella?
Journey, 100%.
Yeah, I'm a Journey fan, though. I like Journey.
I mean, I like Cinderella, but they were kind of like a flash in the pan. Journey will live forever.
Like you said, like more like a one-hit wonder. They
Yeah,
didn't have very many hits, and
they had a few, but see, Journey will live forever.
Yeah, and it still does. That I like the old bands. I love Leonard Skinner still. I love the Eagles. What about you? You like them?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like a lot of the older music. Of course, that's our era. That's our genre right there. I like it all.
Yeah. I'm trying to
Somebody
read.
was commenting they seen my tinfoil hat.
Terry.
Here, let me try to get it on. There. And this is what I wear to protect myself.
There you go. I dare you to bring that to the next investigation we go on and wear it. Not just bring it, but you got to wear it.
Well, yeah, I'm going to put a little like string on it so I can tie it around my chin. It's like a Hershey's Kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's another question. Mike says, question, have you guys seen the movie Haunting in Connecticut? Your thoughts based on a true story?
I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it may have been expanded upon. I mean, I believe that some things happened there, but I think a lot of it may have been blown out of proportion, should I say.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it's all in your perception and how you feel. Because it's like we get a lot of demon stories out of that northeast part of the United States, I mean, a lot of it right there. And I get, because it's, it has a lot of ties to our history. I get that point. But there is a lot of demon stories coming out of there. And I'm like, I know demons are rare, but I mean, right there through the like the 60s, 70s there, that era there was a lot of demon stories. A lot of them. So I don't know if
it's the one I think that I'm thinking, is that the one where the boy was sick, he had cancer, and then they moved into the house, the mom moved there to get the treatments from the hospital, and then there used to be, it was an old funeral home or something. Is that the one I'm thinking of?
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I was thinking about it. I honestly, I believe it. I've seen where people have like same thing with like Amityville House. They say a lot of those were fake, or people was wanting attention. I've heard people say that even about the Sally House. You're always gonna have haters and things like that. Brandi and I, our whole group always says, we weren't there. We did not live it. So who are we to say it was or wasn't true?
Right.
So that's my thinking on it. I wasn't there, but I have no reason to doubt that it didn't happen.
I believe I believe the base of the story happened. Mm-hmm. But the extreme instances, some of them, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I can't wrap my head around that, because why these people would stay in these houses for that long, I don't know. I understand that people can't move and do all the thing, because we talked about on the other show, the Smurl family. They lived in that house for 14 years with this stuff happening. I'm like, why would you live there in 14 years? I could understand a couple years because you can't get out.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But I'd be working to get out. You know what I mean?
And
especially if I have,
like, the whole 14 years, was it active the whole 14 years? Because I'm sorry,
pretty much.
If it's that active, I'm out of there before 14 years. I'm just saying. Especially if you have children, I mean, I would want to keep my kids safe,
Right. But it was also affecting her mother-in-law.
Right.
Which it was like a duplex, but they bought the whole duplex, and the mother-in-law, it was living on the other side, and it was affecting her as well. Yeah. So I'm like, why wait? I can understand a couple years because I mean, times are tough. I get it.
Right.
But if you can't handle that and you are having that big an issue, get out.
Right.
As soon as you can, not 14 years later.
So what did you come to the conclusion? Do you believe that the Smurl's haunting was true, that they actually stayed there for 14 years through this? Because it's me that throws up red flags for that one. Once again, I'm not saying I wasn't there, that I don't, but that just seems,
Well, it seems weird because of the whole incubus succubus thing. In that was involved in that story. Mm-hmm. I mean, how would I say this? If I were a man and that was my wife, and the things were happening to my wife, mm-hmm. and that was my husband and things were happening to my husband, I would not stay.
No.
You know what I mean? I'm very adamant about that. That goes beyond haunting.
Yeah.
That goes beyond it.
Yeah.
So I would have gotten out of there because it happened several times. to them. It just wasn't a one-time thing. And I'm kind of like, why are you guys staying and enduring this, this thing that's terrorizing you? It's abusing you in all kinds of ways. So why would you do that?
Right. Mike says, yeah, but they said that they enjoyed it. I don't think that they enjoyed the
They
act
enjoyed
of-
the physical. They enjoyed the physical
Right.
part, but they did not enjoy the mental side of
part.
it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, because that's just something, yeah.
And it's like, and they enjoyed the physical part because they could not control what was, what their body was doing at the time. They were not in control. Their brain was there, but their body was not. So
exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, me either. And if anybody doesn't know about the Smurl haunting, last Saturday we did it was fun. We did a show with Donny Cho. So it's his last one from last Friday. Or no, last Saturday. Watch that because we watched the Smurl haunting movie. So it's an oldie, but it was good. So if you guys want to catch up and see what we're talking about,
it gives you go back and watch it on there if you want to, or you can watch it for free. It's all over YouTube. You can find it and watch it with no commercials and things like that. But it's an old one.
It is,
and you can tell. But it really gives you an insight to what they were living through. I mean, of course, their encounters were more so than what were in the movie,
right? Yeah, because I think this was a made-for-TV movie that we watched.
Yes.
So a lot of it was taken out. I mean, most of it, honestly, was taken out.
Right. It was because the like I said, the incubus and the succubus part was definitely more horrendous than what that movie showed.
Yeah, because it only one time, and from what I read and the interviews I seen, like it went on all the time. Like, that was,
yeah, but I mean, especially even when you left the home, this thing was still with you. They were showing parts of, and there, they had reported that this thing they'd be out camping, and it showed up. They'd be picnicking, showed up.
And show up. Yeah. And that's scary all in itself. And then they moved, and it showed up. So they would definitely had to, do you know how they ever got rid of it?
They said that it was like a final exorcism type of thing, and they moved out of the house. That it was the kind of the final last time, but I would like to know what the children are doing at some point. I mean, I realize they're way older now, and I'm wondering if they're still experiencing anything like this, or what about their children or their grandchildren? Are they experiencing anything from this thing? Did it follow any of them?
Right.
Or was it basically stuck, attached to? I would think. I don't think it was the home. I think it was the people. Yeah. If it was attached to the mom or the dad, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's a good question. But out of all the hauntings and everything, physically, this is one of the scariest stories to me.
I would agree.
Because you absolutely had no control.
Yeah. My thing is too, I don't like the ones that like the kids,
Yeah, no. Anything to do with children. I don't like those either.
Yeah, me either. Let me see if I can show you here. My cat is like looking at something really weird. Do you see her?
Kitty, 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 kitty. She's
there's nothing up there but a light. It's just weird. Isn't that weird?
She's found something.
Yeah, that's why I was looking up. I'm like, I sure don't see anything. I don't know.
Well, cats are familiar, so who knows what
cats
she's
are
looking
very
at.
open to things too, to the
Yeah.
other side and stuff. So yeah. Freaky, I have no idea what she was watching. There's no fan there. There's a light, but no fan there. So
Right.
who knows? Like
Terry
Terry
said she's looking for aliens.
looking for aliens, probably so. No, she kept looking
Possibly.
up. I'm like, what the heck,
Maybe someone was talking to her. I have no idea.
Well, I do have remains of my dogs here in that chest back there, so maybe they were talking to her. Who knows?
Yeah, I gotta tell you this funny story. Okay, so anyway, so I'm at work, right? And my daughter starts sending me pictures while I'm at work. I can't look at my phone because I'm busy working, and we're not supposed to have our personal cell phones out and blah blah blah. So I have to wait till my break. But by the time I get to my break, she goes, "Look at this cat." Okay, so everybody knows I live in a rural area. And I live out in farm fields. Of course, I'm going to get mice and snakes and all kinds of things. Well, the mice do come in the house and blah, blah, blah. Well, the cat will not eat them, but she'll play with them and then she will, give them a good bite and then they'll do their thing. Anyway, so she's like, "You're not going to believe this." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "I'm going to show you pictures." And then when the pictures came, you could see a mouse. It was underneath my dining room table.
Oh, shoot.
And she took like 2 pictures of where the mouse is coming to her. And then she took another picture where she kind of tilted the camera. And then you can watch the cat looking at the mouse.
Your cat's fired.
She's fired.
Yeah.
She's fired. Yeah. Well, she eventually got it. But I mean, she was just sitting there watching it run across the floor. And my daughter's like, "Mom, I'm watching this mouse run." And she's just watching it, doing nothing, just watching it.
Right.
Because normally she gets real playful and swats them around and stuff. So
yeah, that's too funny. Yeah, because mine would do the same thing though. But they say, if they're fed good, they could care less about looking for mice.
Oh yeah, no, she will get them though. She don't like them in her areas.
Yeah.
Which the house is her area. She don't like them in her areas. So she will play with them a little bit, then bite them, and then and then we have to pick them up. But yeah, I was like, okay, and there are cats outside.
Yeah,
there are cats outside. We do have another cat outside. So I'm like, okay, guys.
Where I keep my horses at my stepson's. There's a big barn, and we know Kathy. She has cats, right? So I took one off of her hands, but because he loved to be outdoors, he hated being inside. He just totally freaked out. So we took one over there to the barn there at Scott's, and his name is Kathy's cat because that's just how, we got him. So we call him Kathy's cat. But he gets fed, and I think he gets fed too good because that barn is full of mice and snakes. I think they feed him way too much food because he just really has, he just has no interest in the mice or the snakes, that he's supposed to be doing. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, my daughter's cat, I mean, she will eventually get them. It's just, you got to wait for her to get after it.
Yeah.
And this thing wasn't moving, but it was, just kind of crawling across the floor, and she's just watching it. As soon as they start running, that piques her interest, and then she starts chasing. That's when it becomes fun.
Right. That's funny. That's too funny. Yeah, it just cats are funny. They say though that like literally like cats can see like spirits and stuff. What are your thoughts about animals and spirits and
Well, I'm gonna say this about that particular cat that she has. She had brought that cat. The cat would come in here, jump on my bed. We'd all be in here talking. But my daughter is her person, right? Mm-hmm. So wherever my daughter goes, she goes. Well, my daughter was carrying her and brought her in here and plopped her down on the bed in my bedroom like she normally does, and we're all just sitting there talking. Next thing you know, she started staring off at something in the corner in the bedroom, and we all know the problems I have, started staring off at the corner. And then next thing you know, she started hissing at absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm. I believe that.
So, and I know that there are things here. I know that things are here. So I'm like, well, she's seeing what I catch a glimpse of every now and again. So I'm like, well, okay. So that led me to believe not just from her, but a lot of other animals. But yeah, they can see them most definitely.
Yeah, I totally believe that too, because I have a horse that always did Civil War reenactments with her. And there is one place that we would take her to, and that's Shoal Creek Living History Museum over on the Kansas City side, over in, I think it's right outside Liberty. But that horse, like, anybody can ride her. She's great, except over at Shoal Creek Living History Museum. She acts up. She's a total jerk over there. And I know that's what it is, because it's very haunted over there. All those buildings are haunted. And so I think that's, what it is. So it's just weird how, animals really do pick up on things.
Yes, they do. They do. Now, I've said this before on the show. I have two little old men.
Mm-hmm.
They're wiener dogs, and they could care less about nothing. They don't.
Hey, do you still have the other dogs?
Yeah, the big ones are still out there. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Wow.
But see, I think between my house and then the farmhouse that's way down there, I think the dogs are running back and forth and they're getting fed at both houses because they're getting little chubbies. And I noticed one of them running today, and she always starts at it's about probably a quarter mile down. She'll start running with me as I'm coming down the dirt road, and she'll just run across the fields and chase me to the house. And I know she was a little slow today.
Yeah, she's probably getting fed from the neighbors too.
I'm like, well, there you go. Yeah. So I mean, that's good. I can't have them in the house. They're too big and they're young.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, these dogs are just so lovey. I mean, it's now when I go outside, they're listening to me, and it's like kind of like when I first would try to feed them, they would just be like ravenous, trying to eat all that food, so I had to feed them in little spurts, throughout the day. And today I went out and I poured their food out, and they sat down like they do for me now. They sit down until I pour the food, and then they'll come eat. And today they just kind of picked at it a little bit. I mean, they were steady eating, but they were like, I think I'm full now.
Wow.
I think I'm
good
full.
Deal. Good deal.
Right. I can't have them in the house, but I'm like, that's I can't watch them starve either,
Yeah. No, I hear you. I know Abby named them. What'd she name them?
She named the female Toffee because it is a toffee color one. And the other one is Brindle, and we couldn't figure out what to name it because these are part pit bull, and those dogs don't scare me by any means. But and she's like, well, I don't know what to name it. And I said, well, we got him in November, and she said, we'll call him Novi. So his name is Novi. Novi and Toffee.
There you go. Very cool.
Yeah, any animal that comes in the yard's got a name, everybody. I'm just saying.
That's funny. That's too funny. Yeah, we fortunately, I live in a small rural area, and anybody's dog that gets out or something, it's like everybody knows whose dog it is. It's just funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such and such's dog, I'll hold on to it till you get off work. Come get it, or cat or something. It's funny because I'll read them on Facebook. The message. We got a Facebook group. For our little community here, and they're all the time saying such and such. I got your dog.
Right. Well, let me get them on Facebook.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, those dogs are proving a lot to me. They do keep other animals that I don't care for out of my yard, which is great.
There you go. Yeah.
So yeah, they'll get fed.
There you go.
Absolutely. And
There you
see,
go.
we have barns. There's barns like across from me and down a little bit, and there's more on the other side. So I know that's where they're going in at night, and they're laying in these barns. Well, if they go down to the neighbor's house at the big barn, they're living high on the hog. I think they got heat there.
There you go. They might be, huh?
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Because they'll disappear from my house. They'll stay here at my house all day long, and then they'll disappear at nighttime because I can't find them. And I've noticed they're coming down from that house down there, and I'm like, yeah, I think somebody's feeding them and giving them some love, because they will let you love on them and pet them and hug them, and they don't care. But again, I live in an area where people have a tendency to drop off animals. And I do have another cat now. I didn't realize, but I did. I just saw it poke its head out last week or so. So I got another cat I didn't know about. So now I have 4 dogs and 2 cats.
Inside the house is the cat?
No, the outside. It's outside, but it's hanging around outside. It's kind of smaller, reminded me more of a female. But she's all gray and got yellow eyes. She's really pretty.
Oh, sounds pretty.
Yeah.
Wow. Very cool. Hopefully she doesn't bring home all her kittens.
Yeah, we had one like that. Yeah, we had one like that. But you remember me telling you the story about the dogs that lived down the road and they would come in, blah, blah, blah. Well, I think they're the ones that would always get the kittens. So
yeah.
But
now you got the other dogs to run them off.
I've got, and it's not the male, it's the female. She's bigger than the male, and boy, she don't like dogs in her yard.
Yeah. Well, hopefully
except my dog.
Hopefully she's fixed if he's a boy. Otherwise, you're gonna have puppies.
They're gonna have puppies down the street. They'll have them down there.
They'll have them down there.
Nowhere to have puppies around over here.
Well,
they'll be out in the open, so I'm pretty sure they'll take up a part in a barn, which is,
yeah.
When it comes to that, then I'll see if I can't get a rescue or somebody to help me out, get them spayed or something, or neutered or something.
Yeah, something. I get her fixed at least for sure. Otherwise, you'd be paying the price, Brandi.
Right. Or somebody will. I think it's becoming. I think it's becoming this whole county road's dog.
Yeah.
By looking at her. She's getting pretty hefty, and so is he. Yeah. So I'm like, no, absolutely not.
Yep. Pancho says, I'll never fix another dog. I to each their own. However, in a neighborhood dog that just shows up, I wouldn't want to be stuck with the puppies. That's my thing,
Yeah. If I had a female and she was inside, I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
But she's running, the whole, all the farmland. So
yeah,
it's kind of like a barn dog.
Mm-hmm. No, I hear you. I live on a busy road. So I know a lot of people, let their dogs out and just shut the door, in the country and just let their dogs run. I don't. Whenever we take our dogs out, I go outside with them. So 2 of them, you don't have to put on any collars or leashes or nothing because they stay right there. But I stand out there with them, or the girls or somebody does. We got the little one now. Now he's real squirrel. So we got to chain him up to go to the bathroom, but then he comes right back in. So, but a lot of people do that though. They just open the door and let their dog go out. But where I live, Brandi, and my road's pretty busy,
Yeah. It's just it's a 2-lane road, but it is traveled a lot, and it's
straight
traffic.
Yeah, and people just fly up and down it. The speed limit's actually only 35, but I've been even known to look down and I'm doing 55, oh shoot.
Slow down.
Easy to do on that road.
Yeah, but I think my 2 dogs, my little ones, are just they just don't they either don't see it or they don't care. And honestly, I don't know if it could be either or. I don't know. I mean, they really don't care much except for sleeping and eating.
Right. That's kind of how mine are. I've got 3 dogs and then the 1 cat and horses, but they're another whole thing. But Yeah. My dog's
I
really
don't think,
the older two, all really that they want to do. Well, especially the big one. All he wants to do is just sleep. That's it. Wherever I'm at, like look down, there he is. He just likes to sleep. And the other two, they're kind of squirrely, especially the puppy. So
uh-huh.
yeah, he's all over.
Yeah, I don't think my dogs are tuned into the paranormal. I really don't.
No. Yeah, mine really aren't either. Now I've taken so we had an old blue healer, her name was Maggie, and I had to put her down, I think it was 2 years ago. She was old, but I
Right.
took her to several places that was haunted, and she wanted no part of it. I took her out to Lost Valley Lake Resort in Owensville, and there's a lot of ghosts out there. And we were doing an EVP session where there was a child that had died out there on the playground set, and I had said something, you know what, you're welcome to pet my dog. And Maggie like flipped her crap, like she started like growling and freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry, Maggie, I'm sorry. But I didn't think it'd be a big deal, kid pet the dog,
Right.
Yeah, Maggie wasn't having it.
Well, I've seen on certain shows and stuff where they'll take dogs in to see if they alert to anything. I haven't seen a great success.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a little bit, but I haven't seen a great success. I mean, it's not a 100% thing. I mean, they could alert to something that's way off. You know what I mean?
Well, I know Jason Hawes at one time he had a dog he was taken with him, and also Ghost Adventures. Zach Bagans had a dog that he used to take with him. I think he rescued the dog, but some do. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool how animals do see things. I think they can actually see them a whole lot better than we can.
Right. I think it's just the pure innocence of the animal, and it's.
But then you look at
like
Kathy at the museum, like Kathy at the museum, she's got the one dog there, and then she's got 5 cats that live there. And they don't act like there's anything funky or. And
well, I know there's something funky there.
Well, we know that, but I don't know. Maybe it's because they're used to it.
Well, maybe it's because the spirits don't show themselves to them. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
Maybe they just don't. Because I mean, if you think about it, when the building was open as the pork farm and all of that, they didn't have animals in there. There were not animals inside.
Right.
So
that's true.
That that leads me to believe that maybe they just don't deal with them because they're not supposed to be in the house. So they're just kind of like, okay, right. So all right, they're not supposed to be in the building. We're not going to deal with them in the building.
Right.
So yeah, and that could be a possibility.
Absolutely. Who knows though? Who knows? Right. We actually we can kind of talk about this a little bit. We got some pretty cool shows coming up for the month of December. And
oh my gosh,
I'm pretty excited about December. So we have actually this coming up Thursday, we have Ronald Murphy, and guys, he is one of our speakers at our conference. So that's going to be a really good one. I'm pretty excited about that because I like Ron. And then the next one, the following Thursday, December 12th, we have the one and only Dave Schrader.
Yes, Dave Schrader. He's been on countless shows on TV, on the Travel Channel. He had his own several series that he did, and he was on with Shane Pittman, and he was on with
he's been on so many shows I can't even begin to tell you. And he actually started out with Ghost Adventures.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So interesting.
That one is going to be good. So, that is on December 12th. That is going to be at 8 p.m. Central. So make sure that you're tuned in, have your notification buttons on, all that kind of good stuff, because that is going to be a great show. And plus, he has his own podcast now that is doing really well. That he does, and he talks about all things creepy and weird and all that good stuff. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And he's actually a very nice guy. When I spoke over at in Lexington, Kentucky at Scarefest a couple years ago, he was there, and I talked to him at the after party and stuff. Just a very, very super nice guy. So, but then the Thursday after that, we have Jill Rimmensnyder. I'm excited about that one. You guys, A Flash of Beauty and all of those. She's got the paranormal version. I mean, she's got all kinds of them, and they put out really good work too. So I'm excited about having Jill on the show as well. And then I officially booked the last Thursday of the month, December 26th, Christopher Garitano.
Oh, all right.
Come on before, but the hurricane. He's down in Florida in the hurricane.
Right. He had the hurricane in Florida, so we had to postpone.
Yeah, so I have him rebooked. So I'm looking forward to December shows. We got some good ones coming out for sure.
Right. I want to talk about something real quick, I know we're talking about shows, but this is something totally different. But it came to my head though. There is this woman that does she's on I don't know if it's Instagram, but I know, or TikTok or whatever it is. But I've seen her videos. But her name is Johanna James is her name.
Okay.
And she is an archaeologist type of person, and she travels all over looking at stuff, and she's a history buff. Well, she had went to Egypt on one of her many trips, and she had to pay some officials some entry money or fees or whatever you want to call it to get into this temple that was not open to the public. But she could pay somebody to get in there. And she went in there, and it is like a temple type thing, but it's very dark. But all I had was like there's a hole in the ceiling where it lets just a little bit of light shine in. And then in the middle of that room, the only thing in there is a statue. Now the statue it's got something weird about it, because it doesn't matter what kind of camera you have, whether it be your phone or professional camera. It doesn't matter how good this camera is. You cannot get a great picture of this thing. It keeps it'll be blurry, or it'll look like a double exposure, or it'll do all kinds of stuff, It is supposed to be a statue of one of their fertility gods and all of this other kind of stuff. So she and other people decided they were going to leave the temple, and there was this one guy in there, that was taking a picture, and he was using, I don't know if it was a light, a long exposure. I don't know what he was using, but he was trying to take a picture of it. And of course, it came out blurry. But if you're looking at this picture, you can definitely see there is a clear figure standing right next to it. And he was the only one in the temple that took this picture.
Wow.
The only one in there. Then they got to looking, and then they started comparing, because it kind of it looked like it had robes on or something. But then they were looking at carvings, pictures of carvings on these pyramids and things like that. And it looked like a king's robe that this thing was wearing by the way that it was made, and the just the way that it looked. Specifically, it had it looked like little I don't know what you would call it, but it looked like little ruche little things going through the sleeves, and you could see them and the carvings of the kings, and it's there. So if you're on YouTube, y'all, look it up. Look
Write that
this.
down. What's it called?
Her name is Johanna, and that's Jahanna James. And really study that picture, because when you see what they saw and how they compared it, you're like, is that a ghost of a king that was by this statue?
And the statue was for fertility.
I think it's fertility. Yeah.
Interesting. I seen a TV show before where there was a statue that was about fertility, and people who had, problems getting pregnant and conceiving, they would go visit this statue, and a lot of them came up pregnant. So I just wondered if it's the same.
I don't know, but she said the name of what the statue was, and I think it was the one for fertility. I do believe so. I mean, I could be wrong, but the picture itself that they got,
it's really cool though. The picture
with the manifestation with it is, even though it's blurry, it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Wow, that's
like, wow.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, because she starts off the whole video by saying, "I never believed in ghosts."
Wow.
Ever. Yeah.
That's crazy. And it's crazy how many people, at least she admits it, how many people say they don't believe in ghosts, but then they do believe in ghosts and won't admit to it.
Right. Freaky Geek said, from the sound of a robe, could it be a monk? No, absolutely not. This does not resemble what a monk would wear at all. This resembled an Egyptian robe that a king would wear.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So there's no mistaking what we're dealing with here, because we're dealing with ancient Egypt when you're looking at this picture. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's really cool though. Very, very cool. Especially if it is like a fertility type,
Right. Because then, I mean, can you imagine? I mean, you would think that the pharaohs, and the wives and stuff would be praying to the fertility god to give them a son, their heir, whatever they needed.
Right.
Or just for a healthy child, who knows? But they always needed a son, to carry on.
Yeah.
Like the Ramses and all of that. They all needed an heir. So,
and there you go. Yeah.
I don't know. It was just something that I ran across that just really, I was like, yeah, I like that. I like that. Because can you imagine though? I mean, being in those Egyptian pyramids, like when it's quiet and there's just nobody around, what sounds are you hearing?
I mean, what are you?
Yeah. That would be, look, I won't touch anything. I promise. I'll just sit here with my little recorder and my other stuff, and we'll just sit here and watch lights and stuff. We won't touch a thing. I don't think they'll let me stay there.
Yeah.
I promise I won't touch a thing.
Right? That's crazy. Wow. Amy says, my cousin has grandchildren older than her youngest. Had her last son at 55 years. No fertility treatments or statues required. Wow. No, thank you.
I guess not. Yeah. I guess not.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to remember back in ancient Egypt, I mean, I'm sure there were a lot of mishaps, because I mean, the medical miracles that they perform today keep a lot of a lot of these babies alive that shouldn't have survived back in that type of day. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sure there were a lot of pregnancy losses that would not happen today. So I mean, would they pray to a fertility god? Absolutely.
Probably so.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Crazy stuff, man. You just never know.
I don't know. It's just something that really grabbed me. And yes, everybody, this is the stuff that I'm talking about that Krista and I dig into, that we run across stuff and we're like, wow. Just wow.
Yeah, I want to know more.
Yeah, I want to know more, and this lady, she's not old by any means. You know, I would say she's in her late 20s, early 30s, somewhere in there. And she is fascinated. I'm like, so am I.
Yeah.
So am I.
Yeah. Everybody's talking about being in their 50s, having kids, man. My 2-year-old granddaughter wears me out. There is no freaking way.
No. I had my last child at 40, and that was enough. Thanks.
I have 2 grown biological children, and then we adopted the 2 girls. So, so fortunately,
but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the biological. If you're taking care of them kids, they keep you running enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They keep you running, and like I said, is that's what I'm thinking is keeping me young. Is that one that I just had a big old gap in between the oldest 2 and her. You know, there's a big old gap, but she does keep me young and keeps me on my toes.
Yeah. You know what? Little Patty says my mama had 22 kids. Holy cow.
What's your family reunion like?
No kidding. Are your Thanksgiving dinners?
I know, no kidding. I'd be like, oh, we're gonna have to take out a loan.
Yeah,
just to have dinner.
Spending $500, that ain't nothing.
No, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Oh, see, Riley was watching the show. He says you can only have 12 kids because your 13th kid will turn into the Jersey Devil.
Devil, that's right.
You're right.
If that isn't so true. Yeah. Anyway, this has been fun, been something different, just kind of chill and just.
Yeah, it's because we have so many big shows coming up. Like I said, you've got to turn in for Ron Murphy next Thursday, and then we have got Dave Schrader, which
after that,
super huge. This is going to be a great month. Great month.
Looking forward to it. Got some good shows. And, we decided to just do our Thursday nights, have guests. And then Fridays is usually just Brandi and I. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, because you're never going to know what we're going to come up talk about. Yeah. It could be something weird. I mean, because we have been talking about something, and maybe you can all look it up for this week and talk about it with us next Friday. But we're going to talk about a little bit of satanic rituals going on in the Denver airport.
Yep, that and the just the conspiracy theories alone out of that airport are crazy. So yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. Well, that'll be next Friday's show. That'll give us time to recoup from Thanksgiving and do some research. Yeah. Because I'm not going to lie, guys, I haven't done any research on nothing, so that's why we did this kind of show tonight.
I'm awfully lazy right now. Yeah. There's just too much food yesterday. And I haven't even really eaten anything today. Honest to God. I was full from yesterday that I've been like, I've eaten little bits all day, but I had to work and I'm just like, I just don't feel like eating. I ate so much yesterday and felt miserable.
Right.
So
I hear you. I'm with you. And just a reminder that tickets for the conference go on sale on Sunday. So
yes. The Crossing Realms Conference, it'll be on Sunday. We will put out a little message on YouTube so you can check it there, and we'll put the link in there for you. And we'll put it also, if you're on our Blondes and Booze page on Facebook, we'll have it there also. But everyone else in the group, Paranormal Paul, Donny Cho, Tex, Bigfoot Michigan Rob, Monica Rawlins, we will all have the link posted in our shows, so you can find it there too. So,
yeah, so that's going to be a fun conference. So we got a lot of good stuff coming up. January, if you are in Alabama, Greg Ogles is premiering his new film, Cryptic Expeditions, isn't it? Land Between Lakes. So that's going to be fun. Brandi and I are going to make a road trip down to, well, it is down for us, to Alabama. So we're going to go to that
Yes.
premiere. That's going to be fun. Looking forward to that
Yes,
one.
and he
So,
still has a few tickets available,
mhm. Yeah,
so you can hit him up for some tickets.
absolutely. So that's going to be fun. Anyway, that's
Right.
kind of it. That's all we have really coming up.
Yeah, but don't forget tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central, it'll be Paranormal Paul and Krista will be on his
Mhm.
channel, Paranormal Among Us. So you can catch them at 7 p.m. Donny Cho says stuff. Sometimes he offends people, sometimes he don't.
Watch at your own
That's
risk.
at 8:30. Yeah, that's at 8:30. And don't forget Bigfoot Michigan Rob, Late Night with the Gals. That's us. We'll be on tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Central. So
Yep.
check us out if you're just sitting up with the rest of us.
Yep, it'd be a lot of fun. So anyway, we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, and I guess we'll see everybody tomorrow on the 3 shows, right?
Yeah, we'll see everybody then.
All right. Good night,
Good
everybody.
night, everybody.